Alright guys, welcome back to the Fragbite THOR Open Qualifier number 6. And I'm bringing you some variety finally. I'm bringing you another team. We're going to watch mTw take on Daymare. mTw recently reformed, featuring very strong players, forming with SGC with a bunch of teams like 2X, Warlog, of course being led by Synderen this whole time. Meanwhile, Daymare, not too sure where they're from, but they have done pretty well so far to make it into this bracket. This is still best of one. This is an open tournament, but I think this is the third or fourth round. So Daymare definitely not a team to be taken lightly. And mTw, as this is all pick. Oh, it's a remake. It's a remake. So unfortunately, I was casting a zero match, so I guess they did Captain's Mode remake. Or an all pick remake, so unable to bring you the drafting phase, but it looks like pretty interesting lineups as mTw picking up a Chen. Chen, of course, all the rage in the old days, but not seen nearly as much recently, with the help of Lone Druid as well. TA, Shadow Demon, you know, not too unstandard of a lineup by mTw, all around pretty solid. But meanwhile, on the side of Daymare, they picked up a Pudge. They have Darkseer as well as Leshrac, and they have the Omni-Knight, so this could be an old school lane of Pudge, Omni-Knight, Repel, Rot combination with the Chaos Knight Leshrac. Man, this is old school. Of course, if you cast Repel on Pudge, he won't take any damage himself from the Rot, but he'll still do significant damage to others with that Rot. I guess that's what they had in mind when they picked up the Pudge Omni-Knight combination. Omni-Knight, very underrated hero, does need a pretty good amount of levels and needs some items. But once he gets going, he's just so hard to stop, as we see that Merciless Greevil going to town. But we'll introduce the players and teams. Looks like we're going to have Synderen playing the mid-solo position again on that Rubik Dutch Freak, playing that Chen. Warlock playing the Lone Druid. 2X is playing the Templar Assassin, and Matchroom is playing the Shadow Demon. Meanwhile, on the side of Daymare, we have Fngshka, FNGG playing the Darkseer, Tvist playing the Leshrac, Jeremy Bagama playing the Omni-Knight, Finch playing the Chaos Knight, and last in your brain. Man, I was doing so well, and then I can't pronounce brain. Been hanging out with Luminous too much. So, unfortunately, since this is an AP remake, could not see the bans, but we can probably guess Batrider was probably banned out. Undying. I'm surprised that we're seeing so much Darkseer play. Usually teams, you know, just don't want to deal with Darkseer, but Darkseer has not been too successful, at least against Zero thus far. But I imagine Bounty Hunter was banned out because Bounty Hunter, ridiculously successful hero these days. And Warlock gonna be soloing that top lane, soloing the off lane with that Lone Druid, gonna try to pull those creeps with that Spirit Bear, but that positioning is gonna be scouted out by the Darkseer, trying to prevent some of that. There are still 4 heroes on the top lane for the side of Daymare. So maybe we're going to see a Darkseer jungle and then just leave the bottom lane for free farm. Gonna give that to TA. TA with free farm definitely cannot be underestimated. So we'll see. I think Darkseer most likely will pick up tier level 3 in the jungle and then try to run back to the bottom lane. Or maybe he's just chilling out here for now. But meanwhile, mid lane going to be Pudge against Rubik. So they're not going to run the Pudge Omni-Knight dual lane. Rubik should have relatively easy time. Gonna go for the very fast ball. Pretty standard build we see in all of these games thus far. Meanwhile, Pudge not going for the fast ball, getting a bit more stats, getting a bit more regen, has to salve. But Synderen, because he's ranged, because he has a more spammable nuke, will pretty much be able to handle his lane, pick up the fast ball. And once he gets that, this lane should be pretty under control for Synderen. Meanwhile, the bottom lane 2X should pretty much last hit every single creep because there is nobody against him in this lane. And he's going to try to keep the creep equilibrium as well. Meanwhile, his top lane might go for some fast pushes. Leshrac has not yet put a point into any of his skills, has some sentry ward. But creep equilibrium not being controlled well at all. That Bear doing a nice job in terms of disrupting it. And now Bear is going to get a bit more experience, going to handle himself pretty decently on this top lane thus far. So a little bit of misplay by the Daymare squad, allowing Bear to pick up some of this experience. But they're going to pull the creeps, try to get the double pill going by the Omni-Knight. Unfortunately, ran right past to the tower, and the Bear going to be used yet again to scout out and try to pull the creeps yet again. Meanwhile, Pudge completely out of mana with the hook, I imagine. Whiffed a couple of hooks. And he's just going to try to make his way slowly but surely to that bottle. Going to use Rot, but Synderen Has the bottle. Is bottle currying it up? No, I guess he just picked it up, so maybe not last hitting the best. But he's going to pick up the illusion, be back at full mana, and now Pudge is going to be completely outmuscled. Going to have to use this time to last hit every single creep while Cinderen's not in this lane for the next 20 or so seconds. But Cinderen's back. He's going to keep Pudge back so far, and looks like the Rot's going to come in. Here comes the telekinesis. Pudge taking bunch damage from the illusion. One more hit. Oh, the uphill miss is going to be enough to save the life of Pudge. One more hit by the illusion. He denies himself at the last instant, realizing that one last hit by the illusion might have been enough to kill, but I don't know if it was enough to kill. Maybe he was worried about the Fade Bolt cooldown coming in, because Fade Bolt would be up. But still, nice recognition of the Pudge to suicide. But that means he's going to be still far away from his bottle. He's going to go back in, hook an illusion, going to rot Cinderen, realizing Cinderen's out of mana, going to go back in for Cinderen. Cinderen does have a decent amount of HP, does use telekinesis, but the hook is still on cooldown. Pudge going to go back in, trying to get the hook. No, he's going to... Not too sure what Pudge is doing, because he's going to take the fall if he stays around much longer. And now he doesn't even have salve to work with. Meanwhile, Chen content to farm it up in the jungle, hit a fast level 5, get those 2 creeps, and then maybe they're going to go for a push, but so far this lane, easiest lane of Templar Assassin's life, 21 and 5. At 3.5 minutes in, it's pretty solid farm. Pretty much last hitting every creep that he can get, which he should do when you're laning against literally nobody. But Darkseer says, enough is enough, I'm level 4. I'm going to come into this lane finally and show you who's boss. And Darkseer versus Templar Assassin, not an easy lane for Templar Assassin, because that Iron Shell does so much damage, and it drains Refraction really, really quickly. Actually, Darkseer just going to jungle the Radiant camps. Not sure why, but he is. We'll see if there's going to be a pullout. Oh, nice last hit by mTw to steal one of the creeps. And now there's going to be a net. Darkseer, not too sure what you're doing, buddy, but you're going to die. Yeah, you're dead. Okay, bro. You can just die, I guess. And Pudge is going to pick up an invisibility rune, but still no bottle. So far, mTw is playing pretty solidly, but Daymare making some very, very interesting decisions. Pudge actually going to leave the lane altogether. We'll see if he can get the hook going on Dutch Freak, as Dutch Freak going to clarity up. Here comes the Rot. Hook going to fly back in, going to hold Dutch Freak in place. One more hit by the Pudge, but unfortunately did not animation cancel fast enough, and Pudge without boots not going to be able to catch up to the Chen. Not enough mana, and Cinderen's here. Try to save the day. Here comes the Holy Persuasion. Gonna try to save enough mana for the hook. Trying to kill Dutch Freak at the very least. One hook! Does get the hook. And he commits suicide. Nicely done by the Pudge. But still, that means Cinderen's gonna have free farm. And he's gonna hit level 6 very, very soon. So Pudge got a kill, but not too sure about the decision making by Daymare thus far. And Darkseer has just abandoned that bottom lane again and just gonna farm in the jungle. Just realizing, alright, I can't really compete with a Shadow Demon there who can seal me in place with the Disruption. And with the Chen, with the net creep. So this is looking very, very odd thus far. And you can see, at this stage in the game, Gold Graph, it's only 5 minutes in the game, Gold Graph can't really tell too big of an indicator, but you see Jeremy Baggins getting held in place by the Entangles. Already used a Purification, he's going to use the Salve as well, and here comes Leshrac. And looks like Lone Druid's going to have to back the heck out of there. But Lone Druid doing a nice job holding his own up against a Tri-Lane, does have 17 CS, hit level 5 as well. Meanwhile, Chaos Knight, only 23 CS, and he's facing Lone Druid thus far. Meanwhile, Rubik did pick up the kill against the Pudge in the middle lane. Pudge, still no bottle, still no boots. 6 minutes in, this Pudge has not been able to get too much accomplished. Did manage to kill himself 2 times with that suicide, so not giving up gold in that exchange, but first hit Entangle onto the Leshrac. Gonna just heal him up. Meanwhile, Chen gonna smoke up, has boots. Might even be able to pick up Arcane Boots right about now. You can pick up the energy booster, yep, and the stash does hold a pair of boots, going to be set onto the Chen, so Arcane Boots up on the Chen. 6.5 minutes in, means that he could go for very early pushes, is level 5, so he can get the creep going. And Tulix is like, alright, I'm done farming for now, let's get this tower push going. Has Phase Boots, pretty close to Dagger as well. Last hitting everything that he possibly can get his hands on, almost 6 CS a minute, over 6 CS a minute at this stage. Because, you know, he's by himself in a lane. He should last day every single creep in his lane. But the hook gonna come in, Ion Shell gonna kill Chen. Chen not yet level 6, but nice defensive disruption gonna hold Pudge in place. Can they get the kill on Pudge? They do get the kill on Pudge, but it looks like Dutch Freak does take the fall to the Darkseer. 2x gonna be in a lot of trouble. Surge gonna come in, nice creep block by the Chen, holding the Darkseer in place for a bit. Mel gonna be enough, but we can see how much damage that Ion Shell does, eating through those refractions in the blink of an eye, but mTw picks up the kill. Overall, that did favor the Radiant because they got a tower in that exchange, but still, they killed the TA, which is very, very important, just free farming it up. Still has 1800 gold in the bank, will be able to pick up the Blink Dagger in a matter of moments when she gets back into the lane. Meanwhile, Lone Druid, hit level 6, gonna use his bear, gonna farm up, and this Chaos Knight really not farming well at all. Chaos Knight with that random damage, maybe he's just getting unlucky with his random damage procs, or maybe he's just not last hitting properly. His creep wave constantly is under his tower, so that's a bit unfortunate for him. A lot more difficult to last hit under the tower because of that extra damage bonus provided by the tower. Maybe the Lone Druid is just doing a really good job in terms of getting the creep pulls going.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
As we see Chaos Knight miss a couple last hits right there. Pudge, still no boots, still no bottle. Is level 7 at the very least, so he can get those hooks going with that ridiculous range of 1300. So mTw will have to watch their positioning, but 2 Arcane Boots going to be finished on the side of mTw. They have their team items almost up. Now Chen's going to start working on that mechanism. Already has a chainmail, so he's going to be able to pick up the buckler in the matter of moments. And meanwhile, Tulix not doing the best against Darkseer, but considering he had free farm for most of the game, he's going to have his Blink Dagger at the 8.5 minute mark. Pretty strong farm by Tulix. So mTw look to be in pretty solid shape at this stage in the game. They'd ideally like to have a little bit more farm on their Lone Druid, but he's against a tri-lane. Like, what more can you want? Meanwhile, Omni Knight still hasn't picked up any mana items, has not picked up a soul ring, just went for straight boots. Meanwhile, Centroid being used to scout out. Looks like Twist gonna manage to hit that Split Earth, but the level 6 Shadow Demon does have Demonic Purge. Shadow Demon does pick off the Last Drag, but Chaos Knight and Darkseer team up and avenge the life of their fallen friend. And they're gonna be able to get the D ward on the Sentry Ward. Meanwhile, top lane looks like Omni Knight does repel himself, but an Entangle does go through that repel. We'll see if they can get an Entangle. Nice juking by the Omni Knight, gonna hold, but the hook in by Rubik, who stole the hook of the Pudge. Well played, Synderen. Well played.
Dire's top tower is under
Meanwhile, Dire, can they catch up? Pudge does he finally have boots? No, he picked up the bottle, but he's going to get the hook in on Synderen. He does have Dismember, not going to use it just yet. Knows that it is enough. Without it, he might need to Dismember later on in the fight. Looks like Warlock going to get stuck in place for 4 seconds with his bear doing its best to hold the Chaos Knight in place as well as the hook manages to hook the Chaos Knight. I don't know if that was intentional or not. It might have been intentional, so it can help Chaos Knight get back in position, but defensive disruption. Chen picks up a kill on Twist, the left track. Meanwhile, the Persuasion is going to come down onto the Pudge. Looks like Lone Druid does take the fall, and now Dutch Freak's going to have to get the heck out of there, but another hook by the Pudge. Going to mean the end of the life of the Chen. No! Chaos Knight juked the wrong way. Can Chen escape? No, Chen gonna probably run out of mana. Oh, the Shadow Poison constantly scouting it out all the while. Disconnect by this guy, Darkseer, in the worst possible opportunity when he was trying to help his team. And Chaos Knight just turned a little bit to the left to get a kill. mTw, does he have cooldown and disruption? No, not just yet. But he does have, no, he has poison, not the purge. As Dutch Freak a little bit upset, because now he knows Chaos Knight can fully see him. So he is going to take the fall. But yeah, I feel mTw's pain. He knows that he might have gotten away, but now since Chaos Knight knows fully where the Chen is going, he's not going to get away. But Rubik is there. Can he get in position to get the telekinesis off? He might be able to stall for a split second. Nope, Chaos Knight picks up the kill. Meanwhile, trap going to be used by Tulix. He misses, but the net going to fly in by Dutch Freak, trying to hold Chaos Knight in place. One more hit, but the Shadow Poison going to be enough. It's Darkseer Vacuum really holding him in place, and Omni Knight going to be enough to heal him. Tulix going to go back on the offensive. Looks like Darkseer might be held in place, going to go back on the offensive. Darkseer just completely owning this Templar Assassin. Now mTw, well, complete out of mana, drained so much by this Darkseer. Look at the damage of Ion Shell, everybody. Ion Shell, oh, Surge goes right over that Sonic Trap. mTw is definitely going to take the fall, but Darkseer is going to pay for it with his life. Darkseer for a Shadow Demon. I'll take that trade any day of the week if I was mTw, because that means Darkseer going to be out of the picture for the next 35 seconds. And meanwhile, Warlock is finally getting some room to farm it up. Gonna try to push down this middle tower. There's gonna be a teleport in by the Chaos Knight. No backup though. As we can take a look at the early goal graph, still in favor of the Radiant. They've managed to push down 2 towers, meanwhile the Dire have not managed to get any towers for themselves. Tulex does have the Blink Dagger, so you can escape out of trouble if he needs to in a pinch. Oh, Leshrac trying to use Split Earth. Only level 4 Leshrac at this stage in the game. Really, really not what Daymare must be hoping for, as the Disruption going to be used on the Chaos Knight. And Lone Druid easily able to clean up the mess, and looks like there's going to be a Tangle on the Darkseer. Can be held in place. Shadow Poison is being stacked up constantly. Nice chain stunning by mTw, and the Entangle with the Soul Catcher and the Fable enough to finish off the job, as mTw manages to chain stun that pretty much perfectly. And getting help from a lucky Entangle here and there, always a good touch. And they're gonna get this middle tier 1 tower. But there's gonna be a teleport in by the Pudge. Gonna get the hook. I'm confused. That should have hit Cinderin. It didn't hit Cinderin. Shouldn't it like pass through Cinderin? Or maybe, because it definitely didn't go its full 1300 range, so either it hit a creep or it hit Cinderin. But I'm pretty sure it hit Cinderin, so Pudge probably gonna be a bit upset that he didn't get the hook going, but you know, nice reaction by Cinderin, and he's gonna get the hook on Leshrac, immediately melt him with the Fable right to the kisser. Meanwhile, Lone Druid picking up a hefty amount of gold, gonna have his Relic relatively soon, considering he's facing against a tri-lane. Not a good tri-lane in that Omni Knight Lesh Chaos Knight, not really the most potent of tri-lanes, but considering he was facing against a tri-lane, pretty solid overall. And the tower is going to be taken by Lone Druid. We'll see how much Omni can do in this capacity. Still no Soul Ring, still nothing of that sort. Really just a walking around heal, not even level 6 just yet, doesn't have the Guardian Angel. Darkseer going to farm it up in the woods, but there's going to be another push going on the top lane because Tulex is farming it up. We'll see if he goes for fast BKB or fast Desolator. Only the Pudge Bite will go through BKB on the side of the Dire, as Pudge... 4 staff already on Cinderin? How do you get away? Oh, maybe telekinesis Pudge after? I'm not too sure. This Pudge, a little bit wonky right now. Darkseer gonna have the mechanism relatively soon, but still Warlock gonna have their Relic relatively soon, and that's a bigger problem. If you are on the side of the Dire, gonna just vacuum use some of the mana, gonna get the heck out of there. No, you can't do too much without support, just trying to scare off Warlock, but Warlock did not fall for the bait. And looks like Rubik has picked up the Blink Dagger, so now Cinderin can get in and out of battle, so he still have the hook. He does still have the hook. Hook, one of the best abilities to steal. Because, you know, catching people out of position and getting those Wodona moments, always a good thing. As Darkseer gonna try to duke it out with this bear, but here comes the Shadow Demon. Leshrac coming in to support, but only level 4. This Leshrac pretty much a joke at this stage in the game. Can he hit level 6 by 20 minutes, guys? That remains to be seen. That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, Dutch Freak has hit level 8, has a mechanism, and has 3 points of Test of Faith, so he can send allies home pretty quickly at this stage. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin gonna have something on the courier. It's gonna be a Mithril Hammer. Could be a Deso, could be a BKB. Probably a Deso, because you usually want that Ogre Club for a bit more HP, rather than the increased damage given to you by the Mithril Hammer. But that remains to be seen. Still could be very deceptive at this stage, because Mithril Hammer does go into both items. In case you guys didn't already know that, which I'm sure you already know that. Meanwhile, there's going to be engagement on the top lane. Chaos Knight trying to run away, trying to gallop away on that 4 horsemen as the Fable going to come in. Meanwhile, fresh meat going to be used on the bottom lane. Warlock is going to take the fall. Did he pick up the relic? How far was he from the relic? Oh, I think he almost had his relic gold. Unfortunate for Warlock that he died at that stage, and now Cinnamon going to be caught up. Is blinked back out. Darkseer, will he go back on the pursuit? Does have the Soul Ring, going to use Ion Shell, but doesn't have too much mana to work with. Looks like Repel is going to be used on the Chaos Knight, but I think Cinnamon should escape. Man, Cinnamon just constantly getting that reality canceled left and right. That casting point of Chaos Knight too long at this stage, and Cinnamon just going to blink out, toying with the Chaos Knight. Going to pick up a kill on the Omni Knight. Beautiful play by Cinnamon as Twig's going to take a bunch of damage. Can they get the Ion Shell? No, Chaos Knight's going to back off because he doesn't have the Omni Knight to keep him alive. And here comes the Leshrac. Leshrac, are you still level 4? No, you hit level 5. Good for you. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, Tvist. And he's going to die. It's not this Leshrac's fault that he's level 5. It's just the unfortunate situation of this game. He couldn't get too much experience. And, you know, other heroes on your team need more experience. Omni Knight definitely needs more experience than Leshrac. Pudge needs a lot of experience. Darkseer needs a lot of experience. Chaos Knight needs a lot of experience. So Leshrac drew the short straw in that bargain. Meanwhile, Warlock's saying, alright, you may have stopped me from my relic once, but you're not going to stop me again. Going to be a blinking by Syrian, going to get the blink on the Chaos Knight. Double damage, 2x, stole the Chaos Bolt. Here comes hooking onto the Templar Assassin, going to take a bunch of damage, but defensive disruption. Splurth catches 2 heroes, but it looks like here comes the Hand of God. Omni Knight get the 360 damage purification as the Dire are on the offensive, gets the hook in on Sinner, and Cernan finally takes the fall. Matrim going to be soon to follow. Splurth does whiff just barely, but Matrim going to die to the rot. Pudge picks up a double kill. Nice offensive by the Dire, as the Centaur is going to die as well. But that purification Splurth combination, so powerful. Meanwhile, Matrim's got to get the heck out of there right about now. Does not own his relic yet again. Here comes the Darkseer, though. There's going to be a teleport in by the Chaos Knight. Matrim definitely overstayed his welcome. Not too sure he was doing that, but here comes the Ion Shell. Warlock, can they get the teleport in? They haven't used the vacuum just yet, I think, or maybe they did. And Tangle on the Darkseer. Here comes the vacuum. Warlock is going to take the fall. Had the courier right there. Did he pick up the relic? He did not pick up the relic. That is so unfortunate for the Radiant. No, their courier's right over there. Some mistakes by mTw going to give Daymare foothold back into this game when it was looking grim, and I think Daymare have slowed down the momentum of mTw at the very least. And what their team really needs is that levels, and right now you can see experience graph going back towards even. Leshrac is finally hit level 6. Omni Knight's hit level 7, gonna have that max repel going relatively soon, and man, 14 seconds of repel on a Chaos Knight, definitely 12 seconds. Definitely cannot be trifled with, as there's going to be Darkseer teleporting back. This is Darkseer just causing nightmares for mTw. Just completely owning Templar Assassin pretty much by itself, as the glyph is going to be used. Teleport in by the Chaos Knight. This tower is going to get denied, as I think mTw making a couple mistakes. Hopefully that won't give their opposing team too big of a foothold, too big of a confidence boost. As Pudge wandering in the jungle, Synderen going to blink back out of there. TA is going to go for the Desolator. But looks like Warlock has finally picked up the relic. If he can pick up the raids, that might give mTw some of their momentum back. But right now it seems like all the momentum is in the favor of the Scourge after that tower deny and after that successful teamfight on the top lane. But still, overall, mTw does have the advantage if they don't have the momentum. And I think mTw definitely has the experience advantage. All of these players on the side of mTw definitely very experienced, as the Bear scanning it out, not seeing the smoke, but the Radiant Ward. That Radiant Ward definitely caught the Dire off guard. We're not expecting that the Radiant Ward would see that smoke, but nicely placed ward. Gonna mean the end of that smoke gank, as the Chen Creep's gonna scout out all the while. And mTw knows. They know. And I think the Dire know that mTw know that they're smoked up. Searching out the Chaos Knight. And looks like they want to get a push going. Pudge, have you picked up anything? Have picked up a VIP booster. Might just be holding on to that for now. But level 2 Wall of Illusion, this Darkseer pretty high level. We'll take a look at the levels. Darkseer the highest level in the game, but everybody else on mTw not too far behind. Shadow Poison flying in. What spell did Rubik just steal? That could be important. Picked up the Reality Rift. You know, okay, spell gonna initiate on the Darkseer. Entangle gonna go in. Here comes a Vacuum. Purification gonna be used on the Darkseer. Meanwhile, TA gonna go to work on this Pudge. You did get the hook in. TA trying to pick up a kill, but here comes Darkseer back to the thick of things. Matrum's gonna take the fall. The Omni Knight just going to town as Matrum buys back. It looks like Pudge does take the fall on the top of that. Shadow even buys back, not too sure why he did that. Pudge buys back as well. Multitude of buybacks say no, that this fight could mean a huge difference as Omniac gonna take a huge burst damage. And now the Dire gonna have to get the heck out of there, but Chaos Knight gonna Reality Rift back in, trying to kill Warlock. 4-second stun, but the bear is saying, I ain't gonna let that happen to my bro up there. And Pudge is gonna lose his buyback money after Ion Shell was stolen. mTw regain the momentum and gonna take a pretty convincing lead in this game in one swift blow. Think the Dire should have backed off once the Omni Knight died. And they're gonna lose a tower for it. And they used a buyback on the Pudge, or Pudge bought back, and they couldn't get any kills with that buyback. And what looked promising for the Dire now look a lot more difficult. Keep in mind, mTw used a couple buybacks as well. Matron bought back. But the bear doesn't yet have his Radiance just yet. And Darkseer is dead for another 20 seconds. Darkseer has been pretty much the main problem with the Omni Knight in this game. And with Darkseer dead, there's really not too much that the Dire can do to defend this. And they might just lose middle racks. Can they mount a defense? No, they're going to lose middle racks. They're going to give up for free. Gonna stun the bear, but it's a bear. Actually, Synderen staying around quite long. The hook does whiff. Blinking by TA, gonna 2-hit that left track as Omni Knight repels the Pudge, but Rubik and TA juking left and right. Looks like Tuluk's gonna take a bunch of damage. Nice vacuum wall combination, but unfortunately the bear just 2-tang. I think they were around a little bit too long, but nice hook in back for the TA, but TA's just like, thanks for getting me closer to you, bro. As he picks up a kill on the Pudge, Tulux is gonna take the fall, but 3-for-1 exchange. Favor of the Radiant once again. Syndren's gonna die as well. Meanwhile, it looks like Chaos Knight gonna pick up a kill as well. So 3-for-3. mTw stuck around a little bit too long, and that's gonna cost them a couple of their kills. Matrum's gonna die as well. Keep in mind, he did buy back in that huge mid lane team fight. The Dire trying to pick up some kills. The Omni Knight does pick up the kill with that purification, but mTw got what they wanted. They got the racks, and Bear didn't die, so he's gonna have his Radiance. Oh, he still doesn't have his Radiance. Wow. Now he picked it up. No, he already had it, so now he has 1200 gold just because he has 1200 gold, just because he's a bear. And now you can see the gold graph and experience graph swing back in favor of mTw by a huge amount. You can see the items. Unfortunately for the Dire, they have not made too many item progression changes. Deso and Chrysalis finished on the Templar Assassin, and it's going to be engagement for the Chaos Knight. Bear trying to go in, trying to get one more entangle as they can't get it. Hook whiffs, and mTw should back off. But no, they know the Radiant Bear pretty much scaring everybody away. Blinking Split Earth by the Rubik. Guardian Angel being used just to try to save the life of the Leshrac, but that burn might just do him in. That burn is going to pick up the kill. No, nice repel by the Omni Knight, as there's going to be a hook in for Warlock, going to hold him in place. Not too sure what mTw are doing with just Synderen and Warlock, but they might just die. But no, Synderen stole repel. Wow, Synderen just on top of his game today. Couple of buybacks on the side of Daymare. But will that be enough, as now Tulux is here. He wants to get back into this fight. Ion Shell constantly draining refraction, but repel stolen by the Rubik. Too good. Ultra kill being picked up by Tulux, trying to go for that rampage. Rampage. TA picks up a rampage. Gonna have that data list finished. And Daymare, they fought valiantly. They fought hard. They fought well. But the relentless pressure by mTw finally caught up to them. I think as this middle tier 4 tower is going to take the fall, they're going to try to probably mount one last defense. But that bear is going to get resummoned. Checking out the cooldown on the bear. No, if it dies, it will be dead. Glyph going to be used. 2x going to go blink in for the Deso, as this tower is going to take the fall. mTw is just going to straight up win this game. Dutch Freak calls out a GG. Both teams know it's over.
Radiant victory.
And the Dire played well. Unfortunately, their lanes were not working out. I think if they had more solid lanes, they would have had a pretty strong chance in making this game draw out, and definitely been a lot closer. And the game was close, but just mTw overpowered the Dire. What more can you say? So mTw take this match in the Fragbite THOR Open Qualifier number 6, and I'll be back very, very soon with the next match. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.